each winner has left a significant mark on the industry. This year, we are proud to add someone to the Hall of Fame that meets these high standards in every way. I am very pleased to share that the 2010 Car Wash Hall of Fame inductee is Mike Mountz of Cloister Car Wash. While I would be glad to personally tell you the many reasons why Mike is so deserving of this distinction, this short video best summarizes his many accomplishments.
If you were to ask Cloister Car Wash owner Mike Mountz to identify the key to his success, he would likely tell you something about his employees providing an outstanding experience for customers. But that would only give you a small part of the Cloister story. Mike has built a great car washing company through nonstop attention to detail and willingness to tinker with absolutely everything. Add to that Mike's fiery entrepreneurial spirit, enthusiasm, and perseverance, and it's easy to see why he is an equal among industry leaders. From the age of 15, Mike had a dream of running his own business. When he purchased a small rundown car wash in 1984, he never looked back. Today, there are 4 Cloister wash and lube facilities in Pennsylvania, washing and servicing 700,000 cars per year. Size and volume is only part of the Cloister equation for success. Mike's obsession with delighting customers brings them back time and again. A high standard of appearance, professionalism, and service to customers is required of every member of Team Cloister. Flower beds and artistic signage welcome customers from the outside. The spotless interior, beautiful murals, and the comfort of waiting rooms make customers feel at home. Mike's drive for innovation has led to constant improvements in the quality and efficiency of Cloister operations. From experimenting with new cleaning products to devising a unique downdraft hothouse drying system, Mike has worked to achieve a perfect balance of maximum efficiency while meeting his demands for high quality. Mike's passion goes beyond the car washing profession. Through the Grace Network, Mike and his wife Rhoda have given over $3 million to local organizations. In addition, Mike honors his fellow veterans through Grace for Vets, a program whereby any veteran can have his or her car washed for free on Veterans Day. It is because of his passion for car washing, his drive for innovation, and his care for others that we are proud to induct Mike Mountz into the Car Wash Hall of Fame.
Please join me in welcoming our 2010 inductee, Mike Mountz.
Wow, that was pretty awesome. That guy that writes the $50,000 checks out, could he send him to me after the thing's over? I could use that. And honestly, the 27 years that we've had has just been phenomenal. And I'm honored and humbled by this opportunity to work with you guys. There's a bunch of people I'd like to give some credit to. Number one, I'd like to give credit to my God. With him, through my life, everything has been possible. My wife, Rhoda, of all the years, she's not only my wife, she's my lover, she's my soulmate, she's my everything. So I love you, Rhoda. To my kids, Elton, Weston, and Tanya, that have all helped out within the business. They've just supported me the whole way through. To a sister, Rosemary, who lives in Terre Haute, Indiana. She's a Carmelite nun. She's actually a cloistered Carmelite nun. She's one of 12. She prays for me every day, my family, my business. The truth is, they pray for us all every day. So I just certainly want to send a thank you out to them. To all the past and present employees, it's not only the present employees we have, but the past ones that have went on and found something else that they love as much as we love car washing. We couldn't have done it without them. One of them is Del Burkholder. He's with us today. When I bought the business in 1984, I paid $380,000 for it. And I tell everybody I paid $10,000 for the business, and the rest was for Del, and I got a bargain. So God bless you, Del. I'm glad you're with us. I think everybody needs a mentor. My mentor sits right behind Del. His name's Tom Hoffman. Just a true friend. The best. His wife Carol, his sons, Tommy and his daughters, they've just been real special to me. Me and Tom's hunted together, we've worked together, we've laughed together, and we've cried together. And one time me and Tom were crying, and Tom looks at me and says, you know, Mike, he says, it's okay to cry. And I said, what? He says, it's okay to cry. I said, why is that? He says, because the more you cry, the less you pee. So, if you see me crying up here, you know I'm just trying not to pee. Okay? So, anyways, Tom, without sounding a little, he's got a kind of an odd shirt on today, but I do love you, Tom. Beyond that, I want to lastly thank the ICA. They've just been excellent over the 27 years. They've been very helpful with the educational opportunities, putting things like this we can network together. It's just been phenomenal. I don't know, out of the 27 years, we've probably made 18 at least. And boy, if you can't come to one of these shows and walk away without learning at least one thing that's going to pay for your trip, then you probably weren't looking. So thank you, ISI and the group. Lastly, the vendors, way too many to list, but they've just been phenomenal. They've supported me through good times and bad times, and I thank my vendors for it. I just real quickly have two quick stories I'd like to share with you. You know, it looks great on the screen, and they did a wonderful job putting it together. And just like Hughes, though, it's never been always easy. And I just have to go all the way back to when I was in second grade, believe it or not. And I failed second grade, and they had me repeat, and then they pushed me through to third grade. Then they had me fail third grade. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I didn't carry my lunchbox in or didn't hang my coat up right or whatever. But I failed second and third. Back then they didn't know what dyslexia was. And Jeff shares the same illness with me. But back when I went to school, they didn't realize what it was. And I think they just passed me on the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and all the way through. I got into 9th grade, and I was the only 9th grader who was driving a new car to work or to school. And I felt a little bit awkward. I'd started working when I was 10, so by the time I got 17, I could buy my own car. And so I dropped out in 9th grade. And the Vietnam War was going on at that point. A lot of my friends were older, so I joined the Vietnam War and joined the service. In 1972, I got out, and I'm working back at a company. And we had some special guests coming that day. A guy by the name of Mark Donahue and Roger Penske. And I was starstruck. Mark had just won the Indianapolis 500, and Roger, being the team owner, had just won his very first Indy car race. He has since went on to win 15 more. But they were there, and they came in, and Mark came down and says, I understand there's a young guy here who likes racing. And I said, yeah, it'd be me. And he says, let's sit down. So I'm trying to find a place to sit down. He says, oh, no, these cardboard boxes are great. So we went over and we sat in a cardboard box. Half an hour later, Roger comes down, sticks his head around the corner, and joins in on the conversation. And as he was leaving, he looked at me and said, Mike, do you know what makes a winner? This is a guy, again, that failed twice, dropped out of high school, went into the service. And I'm thinking, God, it has to be the biggest motor. It has to be the biggest, fattest tires. It has to be the best driver. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to say the wrong thing. And Roger said to me, Mike, it's the 3 Ds. I thought, man, I'm good at getting D's. And he said, Mike, he says, you have to dream it, design it, and develop it. And I just looked at it, and it was like he tattooed it across my forehead. To dream it, design it, and develop it. And I can honestly tell you, that day, sitting on the cardboard box was a day that changed my life. Because here this fellow was, giving me the recipe that I needed to succeed. was the dream design developed. It doesn't matter if it's in your working world at your car wash, or if you're a vendor, if you're just relating that to your house, to your home, to your family. Dream it, design it, develop it. I know Tom Hoffman is an unbelievable hunter, and I guarantee you, he has dreamed every hunt before he's done it. Nobody's walked on this moon without a dream coming first. So when Roger set that set the course. So I do have to thank Roger for that. Wrapping up, I just want to mention a little bit about the Grace for Vets program. It's a wonderful program. Last year in 2009, we washed 60,744 cars. We did 252 different car wash companies. And that's hand-bag companies and big automatics. Anybody can wash a car on Veterans Day on November the 11th. We did 44 different states, and it just turned out to be phenomenal. Our 2010 goal is 100,000 cars. Oh, thank you. My lips are turning to be blue. Our goal this year is 100,000 cars. The only way we can reach that is for everybody to participate. I honestly think we can get much higher than that type thing. We've never done anything at Cloister that has motivated employees, has motivated our customer base more than this has. And that's when customers come to you, they tell you they're a vet, they don't have to prove identification. If you've been in the service, you know it's an honor-based program. So when they come, they say they've been in the service, you honor it, you give them a free car wash. I would love to tell you, I can almost guarantee you, you'll be happy if you do join in on the program. The nice thing about the Grace for Vets is everybody's doing it together under one umbrella, under the car wash program. It's not me getting the credit, it's the vets that are getting the credit. I just happen to be the spokesperson. In the last 2-minute story, or 30-second story, people ask me, why did I get started with the Grace for Vets program? I told you I was in the service, and I told people that I would probably tell them someday. But I was in the service, and I was during the Vietnam War. And during the Vietnam War, I got myself into a situation of hand-to-hand combat, got thrown off of a cliff, hit the ground, and shattered my hips. The truth was, I wasn't in Vietnam. I wasn't in the hand-to-hand combat. I was still stateside, but I rolled out of a bunk. It was a high bunk. It was at least as high. Rolled out of a high bunk, I hit the ground and shattered my hips. They picked me up, they put me on a stretcher, they took me to the hospital, they put me in a body cast from my armpits down to my toes. I laid there for 2 months. They then got a helicopter, medevac helicopter, and they flew me to Valley Forge Military Hospital. And as the helicopter was landing, I'll never forget the pilot giving me the thumbs up, and I'm on a stretcher. I can still hear that helicopter today, that and they're unloading me, and they're going, and the people are running out from the hospital, and they come out, and they used to make African blankets, handmade blankets, and they used to cover the soldiers up, and they came out and they covered me up with this blanket. And this woman looks at me, a Red Cross lady, and she says, "What limbs are you missing?" And I said, "What?" She says, "What limbs are you missing?" I said, "I'm not missing no limbs." And she laid her head on my chest, and she started crying as they pushed me into the hospital. I wondered, what the world is this all about? And they get me into the hospital, and I no sooner go through the door, and I realize I'm at the amputee center of, trying not to pee here. I realized I'm at the amputee center of the United States, and thousands of men are there with no legs, no arms. And I asked God at that point, why did he place me there? Why did he place me there among all these heroes? All these people that are missing their arms and legs. And me, 17-year-old, roll out of bed and break my hips. And I'm with these heroes. And the truth of the matter is, he placed me there that day so I could be here this day, asking you to support these people. They deserve it. God bless you. God bless the car wash business. Thank you very much.